Hey guys, Furum here, and today I'm going to be testing the Rezvani Beast Alpha in multiplayer. Now, this is one of the newest cars in the game, and a very good multiplayer car, and I've gotten a lot of requests for it. In this video, my tuning is 0504, ProKits 5050, bringing me to a rank of 1634. I will be testing this car at a higher rank later. This first race here is one of the most epic and intense races I've ever played. At the beginning, I get 3 knockdowns all at once. Crazy, I've never seen that before. The other 7 cars in this race are 2 other Rezvani Beast Alphas, a Vulcan, 2 Apollo IEs, and an SLK Special Edition. 1 lap on Azure Coast. Do you guys think I can beat all of those cars, which are all faster than me? Well, we will see. Knockdowns at the beginning are definitely a big help when you have a car that has slower speed than the overpowered cars around its rank, but its acceleration is very good. Now here I have a little battle with this Vulcan, and I do come out the victor. So, as you can see at this rank, this car only reaches 297 miles per hour, which is around the same as you might find in an MP425 at just a slightly higher rank. And it doesn't accelerate quite as fast as an MP425 either. So I would say this car is around the same level as the MP425 in multiplayer. However, it is much more stable. You have to take that into account. So I would say that this car is better than that F1 car in multiplayer. And as you can see in this race, it is not so slow at this rank that the other cars catch up throughout the race. Now, if this had been a 2-lap race, who knows, maybe 1 or 2 of them would have been able to catch up, the 2 right close there. 1 of them wrecked on the rocks though, and thus we come in first position. As you can see, knockdowns played a big role, as did taking turns well, 2 very important things in multiplayer. Interestingly, the Vulcan is the car that came in second, and the 2 Apollos came behind it, followed by the 2 other Rezvanis, and the SLK in final position. That is not exactly what you'd expect on Azure Coast, now is it? Now for a race on Munich against another Rezvani Beast Alpha and 2 Apollo IEs. I think I was slightly unprepared for the amazing acceleration of this car, even though it's still at 0 on acceleration and thus I wrecked. However, not all is lost, as you will see, because the big turn on Munich, you know, the 360 plus degree one, can really be a determining factor in these races. I would like to say during this time that I have gotten a new laptop. I am able to record a 1080p at 60 FPS with it, so you can expect that in my upcoming Asphalt 9 videos. Now, Asphalt 8 does not even have a 60 FPS option, only runs at 30 FPS, so those should be at 1080p 30 FPS from now on. This video was recorded on my previous laptop, so that is why it is only 720. So we are coming up to the final turn, and I have actually managed to pass 1 Apollo right there. And here I take this turn slightly more to the inside than the other Apollo, and thus go ahead into first position. So yeah, as you can see, this car's lower speed does definitely not put it at any extreme disadvantage. And when I upgrade it to around 1680 rank by putting 4 on acceleration and 5 on exhaust, I believe it is, I will be going just above 300 miles per hour, around 301. So yeah, that's a few miles per hour faster than I'm going now, and it should make it so that this car is even better. So here in this shortcut, I have a little bit of a problem with drifting around this turn, and thus I fall off onto the longer way. However, he wrecks on something. I'm not sure quite what. But then, because I do not see this train coming, I now also wreck. You could hardly see him, he just kind of appeared around the turn there. So yeah, when you're going around that turn, always stay to the left side. There are certain places on these tracks where the trains pretty much always go, and other tracks where they pretty much always won't go. So if you play the different variants of Munich enough, you will start to learn where trains are on different tracks, because they are different for the different variants. Alright, so now we come up to the 360 degree turn again. This car can do it quite well. Unfortunately, I had a little bit of a problem near the beginning, so I did not take it quite as well as I could have, but I still managed to get around it without wrecking, and thus came in first. In this race, I beat a much higher 1695 Rezvani Beast Alpha. Now you may be wondering, if this car is so good, why aren't you using it in ticket races? Well, I am already in Champion League. And the thing is, this car is one that will pretty much take you to Champion League, but not take you much beyond that. Because once you're here, you pretty much meet a bunch of Apollos and stuff, which are better cars, and at least at this tuning, accelerate faster. So that's why I'm doing free races, because this car is not good enough to use in ticket races at my rating. But if you're in Pro League and don't have an Apollo or any of the SE cars, This car is extremely good, and it should be able to get you to champion without too much of a problem if you get the right tracks. Always pick short ones, always pick twistier ones. So, for example, Dubai is a good one. Any of the Dubai variants, San Diego Harbor Reverse and San Diego Harbor Normal, stuff like that. Again, in this race, the 360-degree turn, in this case it's more like 1,000-degree turn, is the determining factor. I managed to take it a bit closer than that Apollo, thus managing to pass him barely still, and thus come in second. The car in first place was another Rezvani Beast Alpha at a rank of 1673. As I said, I will be testing this car at a higher rank of 1680 fairly soon. Now, the Asphalt tuner said that that tune was 1679, and it's actually 1680. So in this race, you can see that the MP425 definitely does start up faster than this car. However, you have to take into account the fact that I have no acceleration, and the MP425s around this rank pretty much have full acceleration. At Max Pro, this car starts up pretty much as fast as the MP425, and it killed the MP425 on every track the MP425 was king on, I believe. It is definitely one of the A-Class kings, along with the Corvette Grand Sport and SLK, I believe. So this car is extremely fun to drive. It basically feels like a Sin R1 with improved acceleration, because you guys know I really like the Sin R1 if you have watched my videos about that car, and this is basically just a direct upgrade to it except having lower speed by like 5 miles per hour, which sounds like a lot, but when you take into account that these cars get around tracks pretty quickly, the Rezvani Beast Alpha will generally beat the Sin R1. So we are coming into the second lap of this race, and nothing really happens in the second lap. We just get further and further ahead of the second place guy, which is interestingly a Vulcan at 1636, and that MP425 at 1649 came in third. And the Apollo disconnected. I don't know, did he disconnect before the race even started? I don't remember him disconnecting during the race. Anyway, here we are with our San Diego Harbor reverse race. So as you can see, it starts up quickly, gets around the turns well. I'm able to do this barrel. Thankfully, it does not half barrel me, and thus I'm able to get ahead of this MP425, which I think is the car directly behind me. So you may think, well, this is going to be an easy first place finish. You're faster than the MP425, so he's not going to be able to catch up. No problem. However, the car behind him that you will see to start appear on the map more and more is an Apollo Intensa Emozione. And in this race, you will really see how the Apollo is definitely still a better car than this one. Even though we are on one of the Rezvani Beast Alpha's best tracks, the Apollo is still faster by a good dozen miles per hour, more like 15 miles per hour at his rank, because he is at 1700 rank. That is one problem with testing cars in multiplayer when you're free racing, is that your matchmaking is kind of bad, although not quite as bad as if I were ticket racing and saving points. That gives you the worst matchmaking. Risking points pretty much always gives the best. Oh, one thing I would like to mention now before I forget about it, this car has no purple color. One thing I really like about Asphalt 9, and you should check out my videos about that game if you have not, is that you can make every single car purple once you put them to 2 stars, I think it is. I achieved the Shelby GT350R in that game, and will be making it purple whenever I 2-star it up fairly soon. So here, this Apollo passes me, and because of his superior speed, there's absolutely no way that I could catch up to him before the finish line unless he wrecked or something. And this guy was a very good driver, and so that did not happen, and thus I come in second. But not by a very large margin, mind you. If this had been a one-lap race, I definitely would have beaten him. This is definitely one of the best tracks for this car. So we beat that 1649 MP425 again. So in this race, we are again up against an Apollo, and again, you will see that the Apollo is still the better car. Now, he starts up faster, because again, he's higher ranked. When I'm free racing, I don't get good matchmaking. That is why I really do want to upgrade this car to 1680 as soon as I can, and test it as soon as I can, because I really do believe it will probably perform better at that rank, and it'd be more likely to get you to champion at that rank than you would at this rank. It might still be possible at this rank though, but I would definitely recommend tuning higher. So yeah, throughout this race, this other Apollo just gets further and further ahead, even though I'm doing all the speed tricks and taking the turns very sharply. There's just nothing you can do about a car that has superior speed and superior acceleration, at least with our tunings. So the current R&D that is going on as I'm recording this is the Zenvo TS1, I believe it is called, like 10th anniversary edition or something. So that car is kind of a meh car that performs okay at Max Pro. it has a decent speed when multiplayer tuned. However, the problem is it retains all the bad characteristics of the Zenvo ST1. You guys remember that car. Terrible acceleration, terrible drifting, not so great handling, that's okay I guess, and horrible nitro efficiency. So unless you really don't have any good multiplayer cars at all, I honestly wouldn't really recommend going for that one, and especially if you cannot max pro it, because that is honestly where it's probably best. An X2 came last in that race. Not so great. He probably skidded or something. Venice is not a good track for that car. I will hopefully be upgrading the X2 to rank of 1697, I believe it is, sometime soon to test it at that rank. That just means I need to add another 3 to exhaust, and then I'll be at 5 on exhaust, and I believe then it will do better against the Apollos. Now, I do have to take into account it probably will give worse matchmaking, so I may ticket race in those. I don't know, that car is just a bit too risky for me. So in this race, we are up against an MP425, another Rezvani Beast Alpha at slightly lower rank, and a Vanda at a rank of 1633, which is actually 0505-5555 on that car, and a tune that I have wanted to test, but for some reason never got around to it. Probably because I just used my credits on other things. So who knows, maybe I will test that car sometime. It's probably not going to be that good though, now that cars like this one and the Apollo have come out. So my final thoughts about this car: it's definitely a good car, definitely worth going for if you got it in the championship. However, it is not as good as the Apollo, so if you have the Apollo and didn't win this car, do not worry. Thank you all so much for watching. Please hit that like button if you enjoyed, and consider subscribing for more Asphalt 8 content, and Asphalt 9 content as well, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye!